In 3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome to the WrassleCast. This is Don Delarente. I'm joined by the original two co-hosts of the WrassleCast, Mr. Samuel Kalunga. What's going on, Sam?
How's it going, everybody?
And Magnum Prime. What's up, Greg?
What's up, man? Just over here fighting for my dreams. So one day they'll fight for me.
Stop that.
Miss Didi Jonay is not scheduled to be on the card tonight. She is often parts unknown, handling a prior booking. So, she'll be back with us next week.
When we do the SmackDown thing with her, when you ask her for her rating, you should say how many sheets.
Okay, we'll try that next week. The WrassleCast is being brought to you by CSPN. You can find us at cspn.us. You can also find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at WrassleCast. You can follow me at Don Delarente. Sam, what's your new Twitter handle?
It is SCLNGA.
All right. And you can follow Greg at
Magnum Prime.
All right. Sam, you got some news for us, man, before we get into it?
Yeah, I got a couple of things. So Jerry Lawler said that he suffered a stroke prior to WrestleMania weekend. So on the latest episode of Dinner with the King, Jerry Lawler talked to his co-host about a stroke that he suffered on 3/21 shortly before going to the WonderCon event. So 3 days after suffering the stroke, he was able to talk again and felt much better. He was released from the hospital. The only people he told about the situation were Kevin Dunn and Triple H. So, yeah. Let's see. Undertaker is now facing Chris Jericho instead of Rusev at the WWE Greatest Royal Rumble. So, it's a casket match. And so, what do y'all think of that?
Hopefully that means that they're about to push Rusev and they realize,
they didn't want to bury him.
Yeah, we on our way to burying them. So let's stop it. Let's put a stop to it. So hopefully that's what that is. And it's not like, they got some type of heat growing or something.
Right. They're trying to put the best card together they can for that Saudi Prince.
Oh yeah, man! They got Jericho and Kurt Angle are going to be in this battle royal, as well as having matches on the card as well. Triple H and John Cena wrestling each other. Yeah, this is going to be this is going to be like what you thought WrestleMania was going to be if you're like a pure wrestling fan.
This is like someone having a birthday and they're like, "What's the best card you can put together for your birthday?"
I guess this would be similar to that.
It's like a dream type card.
It's the best card that oil can buy.
Right?
I guess it would be similar to that card that they put together in North Korea that time where Ric Flair and them went and wrestled.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? I think that card, people are a lot more uneasy in that. They didn't know they probably going to make it home. You go to Saudi Arabia, you stay away from the alcohol, you probably be okay. North Korea, don't piss off the leader.
Yeah. So, but that was like back in like mid 90s, like 94 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently, your boy Rey Mysterio is going to be in this Greatest Royal Rumble. There's been speculation for a while now that Mysterio has been looking to return to WWE, and as of this report here, there has been no confirmation. Mysterio is currently part of Aero Lucha, and it said that in the past that he is interested in competing in New Japan. Good luck there. Going as far as saying Will Ospreay and Marty Scurll. Going as far as saving Will Ospreay from Marty Scurll's attack at Strong Style Evolved. So, yeah.
Well, he was in the Royal Rumble a couple of years ago. So, again, like we were talking before the show started, if the number's right for one day, I'm available.
Yeah. Well, what I was
The money is right.
They actually want them to maybe go full time again.
If the money is right,
that's
Mysterio
true.
there every night.
I don't think his knees can handle full time, but
I don't think so either. But hey, if the check's clear, I'm sure he'll be out there in a wheelchair.
You go out there and drag himself out there. Don't worry.
I don't know, man. I really hope he does pay off that New Japan stuff though, because I'm just kind of looking forward to that. Being the New Japan guy on this show right here. It's like, damn, we got robbed. And then when he came in and got involved a little bit, it's like, oh, they just set up all these matches. Maybe we can get, Will Ospreay and Rey Mysterio teaming up against Mighty Skull and somebody. Like, this could be good, but we'll see. We'll see. So if you didn't know, this was, WrestleMania weekend. It's only 7 hours worth of programming.
WWE season finale.
Yeah, on Sunday for WWE. They had their fantastic NXT takeover on Saturday. So we're going to do like a round table. Pretty sure if you're listening to this podcast, you saw the matches. Hopefully you were in the hashtag ManiaCast. Thanks for everybody who joined us on Sunday and over the weekend. All the hashtags that we had going on, from the Hall of Fame, Takeover, WrestleMania, and the cast Supercard of Honor as well, people who were watching the ROH show. So we'll just go through the WrestleMania winners really fast. We had Broken Matt Hardy win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. We had Cedric Alexander win the Cruiserweight Championship over Mustafa Ali. We had Naomi win the Women's Battle Royal. We had Seth Rollins defeat The Miz and Finn Balor to win the Intercontinental Championship. Charlotte Flair ended Asuka's streak and made her tap out. And we had Jinder Mahal defeat Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, and Rusev to win the United States Championship. Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle defeated Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. The Bludgeon Brothers, they became the SmackDown Tag Team Champions as they defeated the Usos and the New Day. John Cena got his match with The Undertaker, and John Cena got his ass whooped by The Undertaker.
Church.
Be careful what you ask for.
Before that, John Cena beat up Elias. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon defeated Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are fired, no longer welcome on SmackDown. Nia Jax defeated Alexa Bliss to become the Raw Women's Champion. AJ Styles defeated Shinsuke Nakamura to retain the WWE Championship. But in a swerve, Shinsuke Nakamura hits AJ with a low blow and then beats him down before delivering a Kinshasa before heading back up the ramp. Sheamus and Cesaro lost the Raw Tag Team Championships to Braun Strowman and Nicholas from this crowd.
I'm really surprised his partner wasn't these hands.
And Brock Lesnar defeated Roman Reigns to retain the Universal Championship. So, fellas, we're just going to talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, what hit, what didn't. So, Greg, I'll let you go first, man. We'll start with what you liked.
I definitely like the SmackDown Women's Championship match. I think we all agree that was probably the match of the night for the show. I did enjoy the three-way dance for the Intercontinental Championship.
The three-way dance.
Well, I mean, it was definitely a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Even though we saw, Rollins and Balor go at it for seemed like a half an hour on the Go Home show before Mania. I actually liked the Undertaker and Cena match. It was short, sweet. You made the Undertaker look good as you possibly could. Cena did a good job of taking care of him. And it was nice to see Daniel Bryan back. And I was a little bit disappointed with Styles and Nakamura. I rewatched it. I would say it was a solid match. I definitely disliked the outcome, but I think they worked, which would probably be a softer New Japan type match. It didn't have that brutality or strong style that you saw in their last match in the Wrestle Kingdom together, but it was a good match. So, what about you guys?
All right, Sam, I'll let you go next. What'd you like about it?
Well, let me see. Let me start from the beginning because I didn't see the whole thing. I got up to John Cena and then I was just like, eh. So Matt Hardy, I actually picked Matt Hardy to win that battle royal.
Give yourself a Barry Horowitz pat on the back, sir.
Right.
Well done, sir.
And I was making the joke on Twitter that when I saw Baron Corbin, I was making the joke that I fell asleep. I was like, oh, I fell asleep. What happened? And people were responding like I was being serious. No, Baron Corbin puts me to sleep. But I really liked that they had Bray come in and him and Matt join forces. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali was pretty good. Let's see here. I didn't even see Naomi win. I saw Bayley throw out Sasha, and then the Pizza Man came, and then I came back and they're playing Naomi's music. I'm like, what? But then again, I don't remember her getting eliminated. So let's see here. Charlotte and Asuka was really good. They didn't hinder Ginger. Angle and Rousey against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon was actually pretty good. They idiot-proofed the match for Ronda. It seems like it. Although I didn't like the fact that like Stephanie McMahon was breaking out of the armbar. I thought if you're really going to try to get that move over, don't have a non-wrestler break out of that. And that was pretty much all I saw.
All right. This is the way I saw it now. The best wrestling match on the show, hands down, Asuka and Charlotte Flair. Just so good. They went at it. So, women's wrestling definitely has come so far. And they proved that if you do give, them enough time, they could definitely deserve to main event a WrestleMania. Really, if you like the best sports entertainment match on here, was definitely Ronda Kurt versus Stephanie and Triple H. The crowd was so into it. They kept going. Every time you thought, oh, it's just going to be the hot tag and then Stephanie's going to get her arm ripped off, it was like, oh, look at Steph with some defense. She's actually been training. That's what those videos were for, Sam. They've been training to at least defend it once, keep the match going. Then they kind of mixed it up with Ronda and Triple H. It's like,
I'm surprised they went intergender there.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gonna put it on Triple H, and it's all about the moment. It's all about the Sports Center moment, man.
Oh yeah, I know they're not gonna. That's probably not gonna happen again.
Yeah, so
you're not gonna see Braun, body slamming like Sasha.
Right, at least not in WWE. You turn over to Lucha Underground. It's game on.
Yeah, that really pissed me off.
It's game on, but so those were the best two matches of the night. Was really surprised that Rusev did not win the United States Championship, and they gave it back to Jinder. But
it would be a great way to celebrate Rusev Day.
Right. But I do like Jinder, though, having a championship. It gives them a reason to come out there and cut those promos.
But it also means that they didn't completely give up on him.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see what else I like. I really like that Cedric Alexander got the title. I thought that they had kind of a match that was a little compared to some of the matches 205 Live have been having. They have been, having some better matches. Totally disappointed in the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. Didn't care for the Bludgeon Brothers being in there. We got robbed of a classic. John Cena Undertaker is what it is. Would have preferred the Undertaker just snatch him up from his seat, though, when he was out there with the fans. It's just like,
that would have been funny, just like in his seat, just like looking around like, what, what's going on?
Yeah. The lights go out, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, it's just John Cena in the ring with the Undertaker getting his ass whooped. That would have been cool.
So the joke online was, during what match does John Cena go to the bathroom?
Oh.
And apparently he was escorted to the bathroom during the women's battle royal.
They kind of lost the crowd with the way that they set up the Daniel Bryan Shane
McMahon match. They never got the crowd back.
Yeah, because the whole thing was to see him get in there. Oh my gosh. If you guys are fans of Jim Cornette, listen to his podcast. He reviews WrestleMania.
Oh, those are really cool.
Yes.
I can't wait.
Yeah, but listen to the match that he sets up for this. Oh my gosh. You would have been like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
This was on its way to being like one of the greatest WrestleManias up until that point.
When you get past Dave Bryan's entrance, it goes downhill.
When Shane's in there potatoing Owens,
right.
This is stupid.
Right. It was good. It was cool to see Alexa Bliss and Nia. The crowd kind of wasn't into it, but they actually popped for the finish, and they, gave Nia a big pop for the win. So that was cool. I'm with Greg, AJ Styles, Nakamura. They sacrificed the match just to have an angle at the end. It never got out of first gear. It never, I thought that it was going to be Styles Clash, 1, 2, kick out, and then, here we go. You know what I'm saying? Okay, now we're about to get the match on. But they just never did it. He just Styles Clashed him, and that was it. And then, Nicholas, that could be me moment. And then the swerve at the end for the main event. I don't think any of us predicted that coming. I don't know.
I heard the crowd was completely out of that match.
Oh yeah, it was Beach Ball Mania, and "This is awful" was audible on the broadcast. Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, they'll take that out during the release.
Yeah.
Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, but that definitely was audible on the broadcast. So,
what was some of the craziest things that you've heard live that you never heard again or saw, like the Trish Stratus, Mickey James thing? Was there anything like that?
Oh man, I don't know, because I never go back and watch and look for the Kevin Dunn tricks and the sweetening up parts, unless it's just something that they do in a part in promo or something where I may listen to it first and I'd be like, oh, they took out a word there or something.
I actually have one. I think I might have mentioned it on here before. It was during the Rock and Sock Connection against Evolution. Okay. At one point, Flair is in there with Mick Foley and he's smacking him around in the corner, and then Foley tries to get away, tries to go tag in Rock. And Ric Flair pulls him back. He's like, motherfucker, I ain't done with you. It's just loud. You can hear it through the broadcast. But yeah, during the DVD, no, that wasn't in there at all.
Yeah, man. They're very good with their tricks.
Well, they still have Brock dropping the MF they dropped the audio, but you could tell he said it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if they'll sweeten that up for, the DVD release or not, but
the sound man's always on alert when Brock Lesnar's around.
Oh yeah, it's also that happens when the sound just dies for no reason, and then all of a sudden it just pops back up and you're like, oh, that's what happened.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar out there ripping and running. All right, Sam. So give me your rating on this WrestleMania. Like you said, for a half there, it was on its way to being maybe the best one we've had.
It was on its way, and it just died. So, out of 10, probably give this one a 6.5.
Okay. G Money.
I'll give it a 7. I would give it higher, but it is a chore trying to watch that 5 hours and 10 minutes, especially if you're in the Eastern time zone. That's too rough. I hung in there with it. It's rough.
That was just Raw. That was just a show of Raw and SmackDown combined in one season.
Yeah, no big deal. No big deal.
Yeah, the $10 entrance was really, really cool.
Oh yeah. I give it about a 7. I'm with everybody else. Right there when you got to Daniel Bryan, man, it was on his way because John Cena getting his ass whooped. We were like, okay, and then they went right into Daniel Bryan coming out, and it was the only thing about it is you kind of knew from the beginning they were gonna mess it up because they came out first, and it was just why is he coming out first? He should be the last person to come out. Sammy and Kevin should come out. Shane should come out. They should pause. Then Daniel Bryan come out, but it didn't work out that way. So. Knew something screwy was going to happen. So we'll turn over to Monday Night Raw. Ronda Rousey yanked Steph's arm out of socket again in front of everybody.
I got this here. I got these old Raw results here.
Okay, go ahead. Burn through those.
All right. So Stephanie McMahon comes down to Dakota Bourne 20-minute promo. She talks about Ronda and gives her props and everything. Introduces her best friend Ronda Rousey. Ronda shakes her hand, hugs her, and then pretty much armbars the hell out of her.
And that was only 9 minutes.
That was only 9 minutes. Oh, I'm really shocked. I'm shook, as the kids say. Nia Bay comes out. Alexa Bliss and Mickie James come out to taunt her. That's when Nia Jax introduces her teammate, Miss Ember Moon, something that I've known about for a minute, but I couldn't tell anybody. So I'm really happy to see Miss Moon on the big stage. Ember Moon and Nia Jax defeat Alexa and Mickie. Min got the pin, hitting Bliss with the Eclipse. You see Braun Strowman relinquishes his titles with Nicholas because Nicholas has school tomorrow or something. Let's see, No Way Jose debuts, comes out with the Adam Rose entourage gimmick, which is going to get old really quickly. I don't know if you guys think so or not.
It's already old.
It's already old?
Yeah, we've seen it before.
He better have something to pitch in about a month and a half.
Well, the best thing to come out of the Exotic Express was Braun Strowman.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
So Kurt Angle informs the Bar that they'll get their tag title rematch at the Greatest Royal Rumble against 3 other teams who will earn their spots via a tag team eliminator tournament. So the Revival, this is their first time back, right, in a while? Or were they back last week?
No, they've been back for a minute. Okay. They just did wrestle last week.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. I haven't watched in a minute. The Revival defeats the Good Brothers. They can't win at all. So they advance to the eliminator match next week, and Revival won by hitting Anderson with the Shatter Machine. Seth Rollins comes out to the ring to celebrate his Intercontinental and Grand Slam championships. Finn comes out and says that Rollins does deserve it, but he wants to be the first to challenge the title. Rollins shakes his hand. He says, but then Miz arrives to remind everyone that he's an owed a mandatory rematch. Rollins says, we'll have the match right now, but Miz wants it at Backlash. Jeff Hardy music hits and he comes out, making his return from injury to even the odds, and Miz and Mr. depart. Alrighty, Mandy Rose against Sasha Banks. Bayley makes her entrance before the match started and stood in Banks' corner. The fight spilled to the outside. Mandy shoved Bayley with the referee distracted by Absolution. Bayley tries to hit Mandy but strikes Banks instead. With Banks still preoccupied with Bayley, Rose hits a running knee and got the pin. Distraction finished, gentlemen. You know what to do.
Yes, thank you.
Drink it in.
Drink it in, man. So after the match, Paige gets on the microphone and gives an emotional speech announcing her retirement, something that we knew already, but I guess she wanted to make it official in New Orleans where her career started. The goddamn Drifter was in the ring to run down the WrestleMania crowd. They were not letting him.
Watch your mouth, sir. Watch your mouth, sir.
They were not letting him be a heel. It was so funny. He didn't know what to do.
We walk with the lions. That was good. He wasn't ready for that.
So he was interrupted by a returning Bobby Lashley, who I had heard about. This was a rumor, but I wasn't giving it any credence just because we've heard about people coming back before who didn't. Like, how many times did Shelton Benjamin was supposed to come back at the Royal Rumble? So I just didn't take this. One serious until we finally saw him, and he comes out and he beats Elias down. So, what do y'all think of Bobby returning, Mr. Lashley?
Well, I don't know, man. Hopefully they put him in a good program and they make people care about him.
I could see him beating Brock for the title.
That would work if they give up on give up on Roman, or maybe he beats Roman.
Maybe he beats Roman for the title match or something.
Right.
Well, that could be an out for Brock to go to the UFC, because I think Brock's gonna get the winner of that Miocic and Cormier fight whenever he finishes his suspension.
Yeah, that 1 year.
eventually he's gonna go back and he's gonna fight for him. So maybe if it's it probably won't
doesn't
be
have to be
SummerSlam
active to start the suspension. He hasn't even started it yet.
No, he hasn't started yet. He's got to get whatever. I guess have another meeting with the officials or whatever, and officially
I
come
thought it was
back.
like you have to be an active performer in order to start your suspension.
Yeah, because he got to go back under the USADA testing.
Oh, okay.
So he's got to get all that junk out of his body, allegedly.
Allegedly.
So he can get in, and then he'll take his suspension or whatever, and eventually work those dates. So yeah, he could drop it to Bobby, and then maybe come back, sometime later on in the year, or maybe even at the end of the year before Rumble season starts.
Right. Let's see. Backstage, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens approach Kurt looking for a job. Angle basically says, "Don't be mad. TNA is hiring."
That was great.
They finally got what they wanted. They finally got a mention from WWE. They finally, after how many years in business, they got an acknowledgement. That was probably one of the best jabs ever. That was great.
That was the funniest thing ever.
Let's see. Heath Slater and Rhino come to the ring feeling disrespected. He says, he has kids. He needs to pay. He needs to pay, for his kids or whatever. Slater challenges anyone in the back to a match, and I knew as soon as he said that, I was like, AOP's coming out, aren't they? Yep, sure enough, they came out and pinned Slater and Rhino, and then, of course, after the match, they leave Paul Ellering behind, which I kind of already knew because Paul Ellering was never in this for the long run.
Now, he just wanted to be close to his daughter, right?
Yeah. I want to be close to his daughter.
Oh, all right.
So Roman Reigns comes to the ring and talks about his big steel cage match with Brock Lesnar. Joey Samoa comes out from the back, returning, and now we have 2/3 of the Beatdown Clan from TNA signed to Raw. All we need now is MVP to come back. We got the Beatdown Clan in Raw. Y'all don't know nothing about that, do y'all?
No, sir. You would think you were the only one watching TNA back then.
Oh. Anyway. So Joey Samoa comes out and he gives Roman just a great tongue lashing. Did y'all notice that?
Mm-hmm.
He just lets him have it. He's like, look here, son.
He bodied him.
Yeah, there you go.
He picked up right where he left off before he got hurt, cutting those fire promos.
Right. So tag team later. Oh yeah, and then no wait, hold on, that was later on. Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt defeat Titus O'Neil and Apollo. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. This was a pretty good match. It was just it went to a no contest. They both couldn't get up with the 10 count. So, but it was a great match. It's just neither one of them won. So backstage, Hardy, Finn, and Seth are going to the ring, and then they're stopped by Woken Matt Hardy and Brother Bray or whatever. What are they calling him?
He's just Bray Wyatt for the time being.
Brother Husky. Brother Harris. There you go, Brother Harris. So anyway, they stop him. They stop Brother Nero and they hug him and everything. And he's like, "Oh, it looks like you're back from your condition." And of course, Finn and Seth are like, "What was that about?" Jeff's like, "I don't know." So Jeff Hardy, Finn Balor, and Seth Rollins defeat The Miz, Curtis Axel, and Bo Dallas. Rollins got the pin on Miz after the curb stomp. After the match, all three men hit their finishers on Axel and Dallas. And that is your Monday Night Raw. Thoughts?
That was a lot of stuff to happen. We had AOP come in. We had Paige retire. Ember Bay.
Yep.
And then Kevin and Sammy fought forever and nobody won.
Hashtag fight forever.
Hashtag fight forever.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Dave? We've got our run-in tonight by
with the steel chair.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry for the delay, fellas.
I think I hear David Dennis's music.
You're right.
She's joining the WrassleCast. What's up, man?
Nothing much, man. Sorry for the delay. Had a little, situation, but we're good. Back in effect, so good.
Oh, man. Glad that you could join us. Man. We just got through wrapping up Monday Night Raw and WrestleMania, man. So we'll let you, give your take on WrestleMania, just kind of, you know, what you liked, what you didn't, and, you know, just your overall thoughts on the show.
I thought heading into the last hour, so before AJ Styles and Braun in the main event, I thought we had an all-timer on our hands. I thought we were creeping on WrestleMania 17 territory. Like, it just needed some 4.5, 5-star matches, which it didn't have. But I thought it was pretty perfect at the beginning. And then it tapered off. I think part of the reason it tapered off was because the audience was just exhausted. You know, the WWE is learning how to do 7-hour shows, which I don't think is possible to do. But, you know, we got about 4 perfect hours of WrestleMania. Unfortunately, the event was like 7 or 8 hours. So I thought it was pretty good. You know, it probably is going to go down as a top tier WrestleMania, I think. It's just that last hour sort of fell off a cliff, but I thought it was pretty great leading up to that.
All right, yeah, that's kind of what our sentiments were exactly. So, what was your match of the night?
Match of the night is got to be Charlotte and Asuka for me. I thought it was great. The ending was a little abrupt. It seemed like they might have gotten called to wrap it up for the ending. If you could have given me 5 of those Ronda Rousey minutes and given it to Charlotte and Asuka, we could have had a match of the year candidate. But I think that's probably the best match of the night. And
your biggest disappointment of the night?
Biggest disappointment, I guess, would probably be the fact that you know, Roman and Brock just did not need to happen. You know, there was no way that they were going to book that match to where anybody was satisfied. Like, it was doomed from the beginning. I think that if they had gone with Braun, Brock, and Roman Cena like they did a few months ago, I think then we could have really had a great WrestleMania. We didn't get it, but I think the disappointment is that the main event was so bad, and then as a result, people kept saying that the event was bad because the main event was bad. So, you know, but they're doing the Roman thing, and I guess I'm disappointed that I'm ready for the Roman. I'm ready to go move on. You know, I'm ready for we know you're gonna put the belt on Roman at some point. Just put it on him and let's get it over with.
All right. As far as the call ups for Monday Night Raw, anybody that you're looking forward to, and you know, hopefully the booking does them right. We had AOP, we had Ember Moon.
Yeah, I'm a big Ember Moon fan, so I'm excited to see her get the call up. I think that they need to get a little bit more creative with the call ups now. Like, they've been doing call ups for about 4 years now, and so, you know, they go out on Raw and somebody does an open challenge or somebody needs a partner and it's getting a little stagnant. Like, they need to find creative ways to have people come in and debut. But that gripe aside, I'm excited for Ember Moon. I'm excited for AOP. They look small in a Raw ring, smaller than I thought they would, but I think that they'll work it out. But yeah, Ember Moon is the Raw call up for me.
Yeah, I think it's time for them to get back to leaning on those video packages, man, and doing a little bit more background on the newer people, you know, the people who, you know, because not everybody's into NXT. So, you know, some people, that crowd knows who she is, but the challenge is going to be in the next couple of weeks when she's out there wrestling Dana Brooke. Can they get the crowd to care about anything besides the Eclipse? And that's
kind of funny. I said the same thing about Ronda. Like, what's going to happen when Ronda's in there with like Dana Brooke or something?
Yeah. Well, see, with her, the thing you do with her is you just have her just beat Dana Brooke in like 33 seconds. You know, simple, because she can.
Everybody should just beat Dana Brooke in 33 seconds.
But, you know, it's legitimate and it's believable if she just goes in there and just yanks Dana Brooke's arms out of the socket. That's what you would think. But with Ember, you know, she would, you know, think she'd have a more of a wrestling match. But can you make her character more compelling than just a finishing move? And that's going to be the challenge for the crowd in Hershey, Pennsylvania, or wherever they go to in a month or from now. So that's my thing is it should just, like before where they would build you, let you do a promo, build you another video, another promo. And then you come out and then you have like a really dominating, 2 or 3 weeks. Then you cut a promo, talk good. And then you get like a program, call out somebody, and then you go from there. But they don't really do that anymore. Things got to be so fast, I think.
I mean, like the biggest example of like them assuming everyone watches NXT was like when Emma debuted and everybody was like, who? What? Why does she walk like that? What's going on with this girl? Who is this person? Ooh, we don't like her.
Mm-hmm.
That's one.
Yeah, they just got to find. I wouldn't mind video packages leading up to the Monday after WrestleMania. Like we know people are debuting. So just give us a video package, at the end of Royal Rumble and let us know that Ember Moon is showing up at the end, or, obviously if she didn't have the title, but, people like that to get us excited. They just got to find new ways to show us that these people are showing up.
Right. So I'll stand in for Miss Didi Jonay and be the SmackDown Matters correspondent this week. We get Shane, he comes out. He thanks Daniel Bryan for all his hard work that he's done, that he's put in as GM, but Dan Bryan's going back on the road as a full-time performer, so he's got to give up his duties as GM. So what does Shane do? He introduces Paige as the new SmackDown GM.
Gross.
So that's cool for Paige. Glad that they found a spot for her one night after she announced her retirement. So we got a classic for TV. We got the New Day versus the Usos. We got Woods and Big E represent the New Day this time, and this match, the winners will face the Bludgeon Brothers for the titles at Greatest Royal Rumble, and the Usos got the win with the top rope splash. I don't understand why they had a 3-way. They were just going to have a number 1 contenders match the next night. They could have slid the Bludgeon Brothers into the spot here and let New Day and Usos have a classic at WrestleMania, but all for naught. Naomi snatched up Natalya. She beat her with a split-legged moonsault, got the win. Naomi's feeling really good these days.
Did she snatch her ball?
Yes, going back to her old finishing move. And Nakamura had his best promo ever, one of the best heel promos for somebody who's ever turned. He claims that he does not speak English when Renee pressed him about why he turned on AJ Styles. Charlotte came out, basically, said that she was ready for Asuka, and now there's nobody else to challenge. She's looking for new challengers. And finally, the Iconics, or AKA the iconic duo of Peyton Royce and Billie Kay arrive. They basically beat down Charlotte, give her a double power bomb out on the floor, roll her back in the ring, stand over her. And as they leave, Carmella arrives and she finally cashes in her briefcase, even though Mike Chioda tried to play her like she was Baron Corbin. Bobby Roode, Randy Orton, and Rusev all face each other to face Jinder Mahal at Backlash. And the winner was Randy Orton. So we get to see that program again. Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton. So
all lives matter.
Yeah, I don't know why Vince thought that this would be a good idea. It didn't put butts in seats when they went for the world title. So why does he think it's going to work when they go for the United States title? Carmella said that, she, the queen overstayed her welcome. Prince just kicked her off her throne. She's the new champion. And they asked her about the iconic duo. And she's like, who? And Moon walks out of the screen. AJ Styles is interviewed backstage. He says Nakamura's not his biggest concern because Paige, in her first act as general manager, made a dream match between AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan have a technical classic until Shinsuke Nakamura arrives, hits Daniel Bryan with a Kinshasa, gives AJ Styles a low blow, hits him with a Kinshasa, and then another low blow. And Shinsuke Nakamura is just establishing himself as the new number 1 heel on SmackDown. So, thoughts, concerns? David, I'll let you go first on this one.
I just want to say, as one of the charter members of the Peyton Royce Hive. I am happy that she made it onto SmackDown.
Peyton Royce is Peyton Royce is what we call her.
You said what?
Peyton Royce, like she's the
Oh yeah, Peyton Royce. She is incredible. You know, she it's been great to, you know, that's one of the benefits of NXT is that people like her who are not necessarily indie stars or people who come in with all the tools, like she had to find herself and figure it out. So watching her do that was really cool. Her charisma is off the charts. She has actually become a pretty good in-ring wrestler and ring performer. Like if this were 10 years ago, she'd be the best wrestler in the company by a mile. But you know, she can go in there and have a decent match. So I'm excited to see her. I think they found something with Nakamura, and I couldn't believe how great AJ and Daniel Bryan were, considering Daniel Bryan hadn't wrestled in 3 years. So I was happy with all that.
Yeah, they had that mat wrestling, jiu-jitsu, technical chain wrestling going on. Oh, so pretty.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, man. Yeah, hopefully they can incorporate a little bit more of that type of wrestling into WWE. I've been watching a lot of Zack Sabre Jr. lately. He's been getting a big push in New Japan. And it's really cool to watch that type of wrestling, especially when you got a guy who can grab you and twist you up and make you submit off of anything that you do. Makes it very realistic. G Money, what are your thoughts about Peyton Royce beatdown? They were the only people who got called up on SmackDown besides Paige getting the GM spot. So I guess they're saving some things for the, you know, superstar shakeup that's coming this week. So what are your thoughts about SmackDown?
I love that moment. I love that she had an opportunity to take the mic and really build up to what was about to happen with Carmella. I thought that was brilliant. I love the Shinsuke promo. I think it was appropriate, but yet inappropriate at the same time, because it was funny, but I would hate to see the WWE take this situation where you have a guy whose English is not his first language, and instead of it being some sort of cool situation where he's laughing at everyone, you could turn a situation where everyone's laughing at him and it's not really funny. So I hope it continues to be strange in the sorts of interviews that Nakamura was having when he was with New Japan, because he was weird, but the crowd got it. So I hope they don't lampoon the guy over it. And I'm wondering, is this going to lead to maybe a triple threat match at the Greatest Rumble, or are they going to try to hold this off until Backlash?
I don't want it to be a triple threat at all. I
don't either, but it seems like
two separate singles matches.
Going to, yeah.
I want two separate singles matches.
You milk it out. Maybe you even do a best of 7 if you can.
Right.
Between, each pairing. But you know how
I don't think Daniel Bryan is long for SmackDown though. I think he's getting moved to Raw in the switch up and the shakeup.
Superstar shakeup.
Yeah.
Hey, if the Oil Baron wants a triple threat match, he's going to get it. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, if they do that, then they got to keep the Miz so we can get that payoff. Then.
Yeah, I think I think that's why they give away a match like that on SmackDown, because they know they're not going to be around each other for long.
Sam, your thoughts on SmackDown? Anything you'd like to add?
I didn't watch it.
Okay.
But no, it's good to see Peyton and the other one get called up.
Billy Kay is her name, sir.
David Ruffin and the Temptations, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's good the Shinsuke turn. The Shinsuke heel move is pretty cool too. And it's good to see Daniel Bryan back in the ring.
Yes, so I think Paige being the GM is going to add a new little flavor to it. It's not a McMahon. It's been a while since it's been kind of like a baby face, even though Shane is kind of a baby face, but he's still McMahon. But a non-McMahon baby face in that role, hopefully it'll freshen it up a little bit more and see what she can add. She's off to a great start because, like everybody said, that main event between AJ and Daniel Bryan was really good. And I don't think anybody was upset that Nakamura interrupted it and did what he did. So just a good showcase all around for SmackDown. I personally think SmackDown was a better show. So, Greg, what's your rating for SmackDown this week?
If we're doing 10 again, I give it a 10.
Okay. David, your rating for SmackDown?
Yeah, it was pretty great. I can't really think of any slow parts. So yeah, maybe 9, 10, something like that.
All right. Sam?
You
didn't see it, so you automatically give it a 10. And I give it a 10 as well. So yeah, I thought it was a home run by everybody on SmackDown this week. So
all right, guys, I gotta bounce.
All right, you got any shout outs, any thank yous you want to give out before you
Yeah, no, not this week. I will see y'all next week though.
So. All right, be safe, brother.
Peace.
All right, before we get into NXT TakeOver, we just want everybody to know that this week, the WrassleCast is being brought to you by Busted Tees. The weather is starting to get warmer, so that means that you can start wearing your cool screen t-shirts, and there's no better place than Busted Tees to show off your personality by getting some cool t-shirts and supporting your favorite podcast here on the CSPN. So go to cspn.us, click on the tab that says support the podcast, then click on Busted Tees. Choose your, t-shirts like you normally would. Some of that purchase comes back, and it helps keep the WrassleCast free each and every week. So CSPN and Busted Tees do it today. So fellas, we're going to talk a little NXT TakeOver. Usually the NXTs are the highlights of the weekend when we have these, NXT and main roster shows, big shows together. And again, NXT did not disappoint as they started off fast. 6-man ladder match, EC3, Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream, Lars Sullivan, Killian Dane, and Ricochet. And the winner of the match comes out to be Adam Cole, baby, as he knocks Ricochet off the ladder and grabs the North American Championship. This match was all the flame emojis. Definitely going to be on some people's list for match of the year. Everybody in the match got over, not just the winner. For the first time ever, a lot of people got to see Ricochet, who were affiliated with WWE, so he blew minds. Velveteen Dream became a legend in this match if he wasn't already one after his, new turn in NXT. Lars and Killian Dane showed well to be two big guys in a match that usually doesn't suit big guys. And, EC3 showed off very well. And Ricochet, what can we say? He's Ricochet. So G-Money, I know you just watched this again today, so it's fresh on your mind, man. What'd you think about this being the opener to this show?
It was a beautiful car wreck of a match. The calls by Morrow, if I could just chop up his calls, cut them up into lines and snort them, I will start every single day by doing that. The man is just fantastic on the mic. He gets everybody over. I'm worried about our boy Velveteen Dream because I think he's gonna need a new body in probably about 5 years because he just continues to do crazy stuff. But I loved it. The big horses. I mean, they even got their spots in. It was awesome, and they definitely had enough time to make everybody look great. EC3, he didn't have too many spots. He was mostly feeding people, but he did do a great job.
Mm-hmm. David, did you get a chance to watch TakeOver, man?
Yeah, I watched TakeOver. I thought it was one of the best cards overall in a very long time. The ladder match was like you said, a car wreck. I'm a little desensitized. I think a lot of people are to ladder matches. This one probably. I can't think of one as good as this in a long, long time. Especially with so many people. I think back to the first Money in the Bank ladder match, for instance. But this one is a new standard for movesets and really storytelling. I mean, I think they got 35 minutes for this match, mm-hmm. 40 minutes.
Yeah.
It was pretty incredible.
Yeah, I think that was the thing about NXT and a lot of in a few of the matches in WWE at the WrestleMania. A lot of the storytelling was kind of coming back in a lot of these matches, especially these NXT matches, especially this next one. Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's title. Ember Moon gets passes out rather to the choke. Shayna wins the title. Basically Ember trying to fight back. They, call back a lot of things from their first match. So, Ember, of course, moving up to the main roster, relinquishes the title. Shayna Baszler trying to be the ultimate, female heel in NXT. So I think this is going to work because she's a badass and she's just bad enough where they can build a really good baby face to come up and take the title from her. Anybody agree with that? Disagree with that?
Yeah, no, I think she, Baszler is going to hold the belt for a while, and it's really sort of a new era for the women in NXT. Like it's a more gritty era. It's like it's good. The Iconics would not really fit in that title picture anymore. So, I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see who can challenge her because it's going to be there's a new Mae Young Classic, I guess, tournament or whatever coming up. So we'll see. But Baszler should probably hold the belt for a while now.
G, what are you gonna say, man?
Well, yeah, I was gonna agree with your point about Baszler, but I would also like to say, pretty much from after the first match up until the NXT Championship, I was in the refractory stage at that point. I was spent from that car wreck. So I had to rewatch it again to notice, the little intricacy that Baszler and Moon did during the match. And once again, Morrow did great jobs just causing your attention to what they were doing. It wasn't really high impact stuff, but just simple stuff like, hey, is she trying to put her shoulder back, during the match? We've never seen that before. Just simple stuff like that. It keeps your mind engaged in a match after you've seen all the carnage from match number one.
Right. Like they kind of were suffering from that from the crowd because, of course, the crowd was just, like you said, they were in that same period too until Ember hit the Eclipse on the outside. Then they were like, okay. Then they got into it. Yeah, then they got into the match. Of course, Adam Cole has to wrestle twice. He's back in the trainer's room. He ain't happy that him and Kyle O'Reilly got to go out next. And the Undisputed Era versus the Authors of Pain versus Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne. The winners of the match are the Dusty Tag Team Classic winners and the NXT Tag Team Champions. My man, Pete Dunne, hits the bitter end on Kyle O'Reilly. And all of a sudden, Roderick Strong stomps him in the back. Then he hits Pete Dunne with the End of Heartache. Kyle O'Reilly makes the pin, allowing Undisputed Era to retain the titles. Roderick Strong reaches down, grabs the arm patch off of Adam Cole's arm, puts it on his arm, and Roderick Strong is the newest member of the Undisputed Era. This was so good because the match was really good, and then the turn was out of nowhere.
It was from the Vince Russo book of the Long Con Turn, where you go through the most elaborate weeks and months of something just to swerve. I feel like this was made because of the injury,
right?
But whatever. It was great. The visual of everybody with all the belts and the trophy was pretty cool. And Jerk Roderick Strong is going to be a monster heel.
Yes. So much fun. Authors of Pain looked great in this match as well. They were doing some really good stuff. Then we got our NXT title match. We got the God, Cien Almas, with Zelina Vega versus Aleister Black. This was really cool. Zelina trying to do her best, stand by her man, tries to do a crossbody onto Aleister. He ducks. Cien Almas catches Zelina. Then Aleister Black catches Cien Almas with the black mask, pins him. Aleister Black is your new NXT champion. This was good. I loved that. I love the Zelina Vega old school manager involvement. Cien Almas is good money. It took him a while to get there, but he is good money. Can't wait to see him come up to the main roster. And like I said, from the first time I saw Aleister Black run, do the springboard off the middle rope, and land into this sit-down position in Indian style, I said, yep, that dude right there might be headlining WrestleMania in 2020.
Did this match leave you wanting more? Because I was kind of disappointed with the time of the match. I figured they would have more time than what they actually had.
Nah, because I knew that it was going to probably be more of a high impact match than more of a technical match because of the brawl that Cien Almas had left him laying.
Okay.
In the parking lot. Remember the big where he had really whooped him?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I figured Aleister Black was going to try to come in there like bell rung, and as soon as it got started, he went for it. That Black Mass right off the top. So, I figured it might be a shorter match just based on the build. David, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, so I haven't rewatched TakeOver, but my unpopular opinion is this was the match of the night for me. This was just a nice, crisp, really tight match. The drama was there. I did not know who was going to win. And yeah, so I thought it was a really great match for me. And Almas has the reinvention of Almas has been great. And he in the last two takeovers has maybe two of the best championship matches in NXT history.
Yeah. Nobody would say that. Nobody would mistake him for Jinder Mahal when it came to working the ring as a champion.
Right.
So then we had our takeover main event, the unsanctioned match. Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa with one of the greatest entrances in modern wrestling. No entrance music, just a chorus of boos and FUs and whatever else the crowd could think of to say to him. And all of it got picked up on the audio. It was great. It was Hill Life Supreme to the max. But Johnny Gargano, he ends up being successful in this match. They have about a 40-minute back and forth, all over the place match. Johnny Gargano uses the knee brace with the STF to get Tommaso Ciampa to tap out. Johnny Gargano is reinstated back into NXT. So a lot of people are calling this a 5-star classic, one of the best main events NXT's had. Seems like every time we have a takeover, that is the consensus about the main event. So, G-Money, I'll let you start on this one. Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, man, lights out. What you think?
I definitely thought it was in the running for a 5-star match. They're kind of stingy with those, so I don't know if it'll quite get it. But I mean, Gargano is he's just a hit maker as of late. Like his matches are top notch, and I just thought it was stylized, high quality control violence with an excellent storyline. You could tell that you had two brothers that were really going at it, and it was some sort of blood vendetta, and it had a great ending.
Yeah, it really did. It really did. David, your thoughts on the main event? I know you said that you thought the semi-main was the match of the night. So, what'd you feel about this one?
Yeah, this was incredible, though. I think this was the storytelling was there. I like it was brutal enough that I wanted it to end because my nerves were bad. It was great. I mean, it felt like an hour-long epic, and it was I think even shorter than the ladder match, but it felt like a match that just told a story from beginning to end. I mean, you think about like a 30-minute match or even like a 40-minute match, that's like an hour-long TV show with commercials, and they told a story from beginning to end, and it was beautiful. This is an all-timer. So Johnny Wrestling also is looking like he might go down as the best NXT wrestler ever. He's got a slew of 5-star matches under his belt. And this a lot of people will have this as another one.
there's 2 true blue, maybe 3, because I'm gonna count this next guy. There's 3 get everybody up on their feet. Everybody is cheering for them during their match, guys, in WWE. Daniel Bryan, Braun Strowman, and Johnny Gargano. They're the only 3. Everybody else, it's 50-50, or there's a pocket going for the heel or whatever. Not when these 3 guys are in the ring. Everybody's going for them. And that's a really rare talent in modern day wrestling. But Johnny Gargano has found it. And my goodness, did those people love everything about him. And Tommaso Ciampa played it to the role where they hated everything about him. And this was just an old school fight brawl. The only thing that would have made it better is if they would have came out there in like street clothes, not wrestling gear, because it was a fight. But other than that, it was high impact, like you said, Greg, controlled violence. So kudos to NXT. One day, y'all, Triple H is going to take over. Hopefully he's not old and grizzled and set in his ways and won't be able to give us this cool stuff on the main roster every day. But if he can bring what he brings to NXT to the main roster one day full time, wrestling's in pretty good shape, because these things are awesome. These takeovers are just good. They get better every time they have one.
Well, guys, on that note, I got to break out.
Oh yeah, man. We're about to wrap up the show anyway, so go ahead and give your shout outs and thank yous. You're right on time.
All right, great. Thanks a lot, guys.
No, thank you, man. Let them know where they can follow your follow you and your writings and everything like that. Tell them about that Atlanta article you put out, man.
Yeah, you can follow me, David D TSS, on Twitter. I just wrote about season 2 of Atlanta. A couple weeks ago, I wrote about WrestleMania 19 and Booker T and Triple H. So catch me, follow me on Twitter, see all the writings and all that good stuff.
Oh man, thanks for carving out some time tonight, man, helping us break down WrestleMania. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
No problem. All right, G Money. Before I let you go, man, I saw 2 more matches. I saw the ladder match in the Ring of Honor. It was okay. It wasn't as good as the NXT ladder match, but it's still a lot of crashing and burning. Matt Jackson is a hero for him having this bad back and all the crazy things that he did. But SoCal Uncensored retained the 6-man tag team titles. And then I watched the blood feud between Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes. And I won't spoil the ending for you because you haven't seen it. But those boys really put in really good pace. They worked at the same pace that Nakamura and AJ Styles did, but they had a little bit more bang and boom mixed in there to kind of, not make it so like it didn't get out of first gear. So if you guys can find that, I know, Ring of Honor is protecting that a little bit. So might be a little bit hard to find for a link, but if you guys can find that, definitely check that out. It's a really good match. So that was the WrestleMania weekend, man. Anything? Did you watch the Hall of Fame or anything?
I did watch a little bit. I had to travel, so I had to go back and look at things, after they happened. But I watched the Hall of Fame. It was interesting. I will say this, kind of gently related to the Hall of Fame, when they brought out all of the superstars during Mania for the Hall of Fame, I did notice that Goldberg got blown up during his introduction. I guess all the pyro and the kicking and the punching that he was doing, it was too much for him. So I got a kick out of that. I don't know if anyone else noticed that.
Well, I mean, that's no different than his career.
Yeah, that's true. But he now he does have like the greatest intro of a Hall of Famer, at least, actually during WrestleMania. Most time they'll just come out, stand on the star, maybe, wave to people. But that was pretty cool. They gave him the pyro. That was pretty cool.
Right. So, man, open it up to you for your shout outs and thank yous.
Well, I always got to start off with you guys. Shouts out to you, Sam, DD, Course Classic. Shouts out to our guest this evening. It was nice that he could come and hang out with us. Always been a big fan of his work on Up Rocks and other websites. And I like to give a shout out to my wife, who gave me a brief lecture on the bullshit weight of the steel steps at WrestleMania. since she is an engineer, she actually took time to tell me, "Oh, there's no way in hell that those steps are that heavy." I'm like, "Yes, I know that, but you don't have to go into it. I know you went to school for that type of stuff, but I don't care. Yes, I know it's worked. It's okay."
She's trying to apply logic to a totally illogical situation, right?
You know, yeah, in science, like, yeah, we're just having fun, honey. That's all. But I love her. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Greg, for being able to join me tonight. I'd like to thank David Dennis as well. Sam. Big shout out to Dee. Be safe, safe travels. Shout out to the whole globe. Shout out to everybody who joined us this past weekend for Back That Cast Up, for Mania Cast, for Rawcast, for SmackDown Matters, Supercast of Honor. If you tweeted and interacted with us or listened to the podcast for the very first time based off this weekend, thank you. Welcome to the WrassleCast family. It's very interactive. So, tweet at us, follow us, participate in the live tweets, share your commentary with Color, man. That's what we're here for. Give a voice to the minorities who don't really get a chance to be heard. So hopefully we can stir up enough noise and they'll listen to us. And then, we can get Big E or Jason Jordan to be the heavyweight champion at some point soon. So that's my goal, man. I'm trying to get Big E to be the champion soon.
Hey, I think a lot of people have been calling for that for years now.
Yeah, man.
He's reached all that. They really, all three of them have reached the highest or heights as they can go as a team.
Right. Yeah. So I don't want them to straight break up, they got to wrestle each other. But if they just kind of divide off and go do something different, that'll be straight. And then, if he wins the heavyweight championship along the way, then they come back all of a sudden and be like, hey, we are the champion.
They really could do it, and they're really ambassadors for the brand. It's almost like they're kind of like the Miz. So I don't think anybody has done movies, but you see them everywhere. So right. Those guys have something else to do.
Right. So hashtag Big E for heavyweight champ. So they're gonna start that movement here on the WrassleCast. So again, for everybody who joined us here tonight, Sam, Greg, Mr. David Dennis, I'm Don Delarente. This has been episode 180 of the WrassleCast. Please stay tuned for the parting promo.